Okay, so Westeros.
Right.
You hear the name, just in passing even, and you kind of get this instant feeling like, oh boy, this is complicated. And diving into what we've got here, these excerpts from A Clash of Kings, yeah, it's more than complicated. It's like this whole realm is on the verge of just exploding.
It really is. It's not a peaceful time to be in Westeros, that's for sure.
No kidding. I mean, we're talking what? Like castles scheming against each other, armies popping up everywhere you look, and everyone, it seems like, is dealing with some serious personal drama.
You got it. And what really strikes me, as we dig into this stuff, is how George R. R. Martin just throws you right into the middle of it all. Bam!
Hmm.
Society's fractured, power's changing hands faster than you can blink, and these characters, they're making these huge choices.
Mm-hmm.
Life or death kind of stuff.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to try and do today. Sort of break it all down for you.
Right.
Like, think of us as your guides to figuring out who the major players are, what's going on, what's motivating them. Because this is a turning point. We've got these different perspectives from Dragonstone, which is, well, it's its own thing, right? To what's happening in the Riverlands, to the absolute mess in King's Landing, and even beyond the Wall.
Yeah, and across the narrow sea even. It's a lot to keep track of.
Oh, for sure. So what we want to do is give you a solid understanding of like the core events, what's driving these characters, connect the dots, so to speak, without, burying you in a million details.
Right, because the details are pretty intense in these books.
Oh, totally. But, maybe we'll have a few of those aha moments along the way where it all kind of clicks.
I think we will. There's a lot to uncover.
So where do we even start? I mean, we could jump right into the thing of things, maybe with one of the guys who really wants that Iron Throne.
Yeah.
And he just happens to be in this place that's got, like, tons of history, a real heavy atmosphere. I'm talking about Dragonstone
Yeah.
with Stannis Baratheon. What do you think?
I think that's a great place to start. Dragonstone is, well, the imagery Martin uses, it really paints a picture. It's ancient, almost oppressive, this heavy feeling.
Yeah, I get that.
You've got the stone drum, this booming sound, the sea dragon tower just looming over everything, and the gargoyles everywhere, always watching. Then there's those black iron gates, just intimidating.
Right. And even Maester Crescent, remember how much trouble he has just getting up to Stannis? Like, physically.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, that kind of shows you right away that time is of the essence here. But it also, like, visually emphasizes the burden of, age set against this urgency, this crisis unfolding.
For sure. And what really hits you about Stannis right away is that he feels isolated.
Absolutely.
Doesn't he even say it outright? Something about being king of Dragonstone and a few rocks in the narrow sea?
It does.
I mean, you get it immediately. His resources, they're limited. And then you've got his bannermen, Celtigar, Valerion, Bar Emmon, and then, of course, there's Salad Horsan. That guy's a character and a half. But, they're not exactly what you'd call unified, are they?
Definitely not. It's kind of like everyone's got their own agenda.
Yeah, like the Stormlords, they're not sure where their loyalty lies, right?
And then you have the tides. The sea itself is kind of unpredictable. And then some of these guys are worried about what the Seven think, or they're hung up on debts.
And Stannis is stuck trying to get them all on the same page.
It's like trying to herd cats.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got Maester Crescent, right? He's almost like a voice from the past trying to tell Stannis, hey, you're a real problem, the Lannisters.
Right.
Seems simple enough, right?
You'd think. But it's obvious Stannis is caught in the middle of all this, these, unreliable allies. His own position is pretty shaky.
And then there's Lady Selyse, remember? Just shuts Crescent down like that. Oh, yeah, that shows you something right there. Who Stannis is really listening to? Maybe not so much the old advisors anymore.
Right. I mean, it's like a shift. And then you have Crescent watching Salad Horsan's ship leave. And he's thinking about his whole life, serving as a maester, all the sacrifices. You really feel for the guy, like
Right.
caught in the middle of this massive power struggle.
Yeah, definitely. It's like a reminder of the cost of all this, the human
Yeah.
cost,
Yeah.
behind all the politics and battles.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's go somewhere else for a minute. We've got this totally different journey, but it's just as important. One that's full of hardship, but also there's this quiet strength to it. I'm talking about Arya Stark. She's on the run.
Right.
And her experience after escaping King's Landing, it really shows you how brutal this war is for everyone, even regular people.
Absolutely. The details in these excerpts, they really show you how rough it is, like using sour leaf for wounds
Yeah. Ouch.
and the constant struggle just to walk. And characters like Hot Pie, he's really suffering. And even Lamy Greenhands, he wasn't physically hurt, like the others, but he saw that violence, with Arya. It
Yeah.
messed him up. You can see how fast innocence gets ripped away in this world.
And the way Arya reacts to all this danger, right? She chooses to stay silent. Like, she understands it's safer that way, doesn't say much at all.
She's learned that the hard way.
It's like a survival instinct, you
Yeah.
know? And it's sad because she's so young, but she's had to grow up fast.
Way too fast.
Yeah.
And then they reach that deserted village, remember? And for a second, they think they found a way out. Some boats.
Right.
And then nothing. Just another disappointment.
Yeah.
Another dead end.
Yeah. It's like one setback after another for these guys. There's nowhere safe for them. But then there's that scene by the lake,
Right.
It's peaceful for a minute. Arya gets to be a kid again. Even imagine swimming all the way back to Winterfell.
Yeah, it's a reminder of what she's lost.
Yeah.
Everything she wants to go back to. A life before all this chaos. You really feel for her.
Oh, totally. She wants her home, her family. And then she meets Jaqen. Talk about a curveball.
Right.
That scene throws you for a loop. This guy changes his whole appearance right in front of her.
Out of nowhere.
She's totally baffled, and I have to admit, so is I. And, it brings this whole other element into her story. Like, there's magic, something beyond the ordinary happening now.
It makes you wonder what role he's going to play in her life.
For sure. He's a mystery, that's for sure. Okay, well, let's head back south, back to the center of all the action. King's Landing. It's a total mess, a snake pit, really.
It is. And things are only getting worse. You see Joffrey still being cruel, especially to Sansa.
Yeah, poor Sansa.
He wants to hurt Robb, talking about feeding him to wolves, challenging him to single combat. It's really disturbing. He's enjoying this.
Yeah. But Cersei steps in, right? The Queen Regent. She says it's not fitting for him to fight.
Right. Trying to control him a little bit, or at least control how it looks.
Yeah, maybe. But it shows you their role, it's not exactly stable, is it?
Not at all.
But the one who's really running the show, it seems like, is Tyrion. He's playing the game, and he's playing it well.
Oh, yeah, he is. And we see it from all these different angles, all his schemes. It's fascinating.
It really is. Like, take his conversation with Jon O'Slint, for instance. About Ned Stark's death. Tyrion's not letting that go.
Nope.
He's asking these pointed questions, emphasizing that Joffrey gave the order, that Slynn and Ilyn Payne, they did it right away.
Like they were ready and waiting.
Exactly. And Tyrion says, almost as if they had expected it. He knows something's not right.
He's suspicious, and rightfully so.
Oh, yeah. And how he's handling the City Watch under Slynt. Very careful, very calculated. He knows they're useful right now, but...
He doesn't fully trust them.
Right.
Yeah.
He's aware of Cersei's guards, the Red Cloaks, and how loyal Vylar is to Casterly Rock. Tyrion's building his own power base, He knows that family loyalty only gets you so far in King's Landing.
Especially with the Lannisters.
Oh, for sure. But then there's this, I don't know, it's almost brilliant how he decides to mess with Stannis.
Oh, yeah. That's some next-level stuff.
Right. He plants this seed about Lady Khaleesi, with Sir Axel Florent.
True.
Saying, what was it? Maybe they have a kid with Florent ears. I mean, come on.
It's a rumor, but it's a powerful one. You know how proud Stannis is?
Exactly. Tyrion's using their weaknesses against them. It's classic divide and conquer. And then you see his views on religion, right? That scene with Elia.
Oh, classic Tyrion.
Yeah. He's like, I'll pray with my cock if it'll make me more devout. I mean, he's not subtle.
Not at all.
But it's funny, and it's kind of honest, about how people really are, what motivates them.
It's cynical, but there's a grain of truth to it.
For sure.
Okay.
And then there's how he manipulates Littlefinger about Harrenhal and controlling the Trident. That's a big power move.
Huge. He's basically using Littlefinger to take down the River Lords, even the ones loyal to the Tullys.
Right. And he knows exactly what Littlefinger wants, power. He's dangling Harrenhal like a carrot. I don't know, it's kind of scary how good he is at this.
He's thinking long term, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. And let's not forget about the wildfire.
Oh, yeah.
That's terrifying stuff.
Definitely.
He's trying to get control of it, and you have that scene with Hallenburn, and you realize this could go really bad, really fast. And those old wildfire pots hidden under the Sept of Baelor. I mean, that's just asking for trouble.
It's like a ticking time bomb right in the heart of the city.
Absolutely. And then his plan to send Myrcella to Dorne, to Doran Martell. That's risky even for Tyrion.
Oh, yeah. Big risk, big reward.
He's offering a lot, a council seat, castles, even admits that Oberyn Martell killed Doran's sister, Elia.
And Cersei, she's furious, But Tyrion's worried about Dorne wanting revenge.
He knows what happened to Ilya. He doesn't want Dorne turning against them.
It's a smart move politically,
Yeah,
keeping your enemies close, or at least neutral.
exactly. But his relationship with Cersei, it's a constant battle, and they have that big fight, and she just ignores his advice. And he's thinking, here we go again, It's like he can see what's coming, but he can't stop her.
It's that Lannister temperament. Volatile.
Yeah.
And you see it in Cersei. Big time.
For sure. And then the Night's Watch. Remember that? He goes to the dungeons, starts recruiting. I mean, desperate times, right?
Oh, totally.
And then he runs into Alistair Thorne, and the way he talks to him, it's hilarious.
Yeah, he doesn't hold back.
Nope. But it shows you how weak the Watch has become, They need men, and they'll take them from anywhere.
And then there's his plan with Cersei's guards, basically replacing them with his own guys.
Right. A thief, a poisoner, a mummer, and a murderer, all dressed up like Kingsguard. That takes some guts.
And trust.
Oh, totally. He talks to Varys and Littlefinger about it, and it's all very hush-hush. Secrets and lies, that's how things work in King's Landing.
It's all about control. Who really has it?
Exactly. And then there's that secret passage in his chambers, the one Shay finds.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. Who built that? And
Right.
why?
Right. What's it for? Escape. Secret meetings. It's another layer of, mystery, isn't it? In the Red Keep, you never know what you're going to find.
That's for sure. And then, the new High Septon. Tyrion tells him to preach against Stannis, make up this whole story about him wanting to burn down the Sept of Baelor.
I mean, come on. Talk about using religion for your own gain.
It's pretty low.
Oh, yeah, but it's effective. Scare the people, turn them against Stannis. And then there's that quick scene with Bran. They're joking, right? About how much easier life would be if Tommen was king.
Yeah, Tommen. Easy to manipulate.
Exactly. But it shows you how fragile the Lannister power is, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. One wrong move, and it could all come crashing down.
And then you had that scene with Joffrey and Sansa. It's awful. He orders her stripped and beaten just because he can.
The kid's a monster.
He is. And Tyrion, he steps in, tries to reason with Joffrey, even brings up Daenerys Targaryen, the Madkin, learn from history, dude.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Right. And he actually threatens Boros Blount, one of the Kingsguard? I mean, that's serious.
It is. He's protecting Sansa, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah, you wouldn't think Tyrion would care that much.
But he does. In his own way.
And then he talks to Sansa in private, tells her he's going to try and stop the marriage to Joffrey. He admits that the Starks and Lannisters, they're never going to be friends again.
Too much bad blood. Too much damage.
It's a sad moment, There's a little bit of kindness there from Tyrion, but it doesn't change the bigger picture.
No.
Okay, so let's go north again. Back to Bran. Remember, he's stuck in Winterfell, but things are getting weird.
Oh, yeah.
He's got this connection to the direwolves, right? And he starts howling like a wolf himself. It freaks Maester Luwin out.
Understandably.
Yeah. I mean, he's a maester, all about logic and reason, but this is something else entirely.
His magic. Plain and simple.
And then there's his dreams. He's having these wolf dreams, and he's hanging out in the Godswood, talking to that old heart tree.
And Osha, remember,
Yeah.
she interprets them. Says maybe the old gods are talking to him.
Right. Like directly communicating. It makes you wonder what Bran's role in all this is, what he's capable of.
Yeah. And Osha, she knows the old ways, the old gods. She sees things differently than Maester Luwin.
Totally. And then there's that dream he has where he's walking in the Godswood. He's not crippled in the dream, and he sees the comet, that red comet.
Powerful imagery.
Oh, yeah. It's like his spirit is free, even though his body isn't. And then he has that other dream.
Oh, the sea.
Yeah. It floods Winterfell, and he sees these drowned faces, people he knows.
The Elabelli, the Septon,
Yeah.
Mikken.
It's terrifying. And he's so scared when he wakes up, and it feels prophetic, like something bad is going to happen.
Yeah. And those dreams, the visions, they keep popping up in the story.
Right. It's like there's this other layer, this mystical element weaving its way through everything.
Definitely. It's not just about politics and battles anymore.
So back to Robb. He's winning battles, but he's got problems.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Internal problems.
Yeah.
His own people are divided about what to do next.
Makes sense.
They've lost a lot of men, and Ned Stark is dead. Lord Karstark, he's furious about his sons. They want revenge.
And Caitlyn, she's trying to be practical. Like, let's at least listen to what the Lannisters offer for peace. But Robb, he's bitter. Understandably.
Yeah, but it shows you how tough it is to be a leader, right? In wartime especially.
Oh, absolutely. Do you go for revenge? Or do you try to make the best deal you can? Tough choices.
So the Baratheon brothers, Renly and Stannis, they finally meet. It's tense.
Oh, yeah. Two totally different personalities. You could feel the tension.
Right. Renly, he's got this huge army, all these banners, these southern lords, the Tyrells, the Rowans, the Tarleys. He's confident, like he's already won at Stannis. He's got a smaller force, but he's completely sure he's the rightful king.
He doesn't back down.
Nope. And he comes out with this huge accusation, right? Says Joffrey, Tommen, and Myrcella, they're bastards.
Born of incest.
Yeah. Caitlin is shocked. I mean, it's a bombshell. It could change everything.
But does he have proof? That's the question.
And Renly, he just laughs, calls it a sweet story. He doesn't believe it, or at least he pretends not to.
Yeah. But that image of Stannis' sword, Lightbringer, starting to glow,
yeah,
that's a game changer.
Right. It's like there's magic on his side now. Melisandre, the Red God, Arvelor. It's getting serious.
Definitely. This isn't just about who sits on the throne anymore. It's about faith, about magic.
And then we have Theon. He goes back home to the Iron Islands. Been a long time.
Too long, maybe.
Yeah. But Pike, his home, it's harsh. You feel it right away. That connection to the sea, it's almost like a character itself.
Right. And the Ironborn, they're a different breed. Tough, proud, kind of brutal. Remember that scene with Theon and the young woman? He's thinking about salt wives right off the bat.
It's a different culture for sure. And his reunion with his uncle, Aaron Greyjoy, that's a trip.
Right.
The Aaron he remembers, the one who liked to drink and joke, gone. This guy's a fanatic, a priest of the drowned god.
Yeah.
Intense.
Yeah. And he tells Theon about Dagmar Cleftjaw going around, rallying the other houses, the stone houses, the drums.
Right, and they're getting the long ships ready. Something's up. Balon Greyjoy, Theon's dad, he's got plans.
Oh, yeah.
And Theon, he feels like a stranger, like he doesn't belong there anymore.
It's sad, in a way. He's been away so long he doesn't fit in.
And then he gets to his father's hall, and everyone's laughing at him.
Especially Asha.
Oh, she's ruthless, calls him out, makes fun of him. Theon's not happy about it. You can see it brewing,
He wants to prove himself.
Yeah. Of course he ends up taking Winterfell, but it's a hollow victory, It doesn't end well. And Asha, she even warns him, tells him to leave.
Yeah, she knows it's a bad idea. But he doesn't listen.
Nope. Thinks he can handle it. Well, we all know how that turns out. Not well. Okay, let's go across the Narrow Sea again to Quarth.
Daenerys, she's in a whole other world now.
Literally.
He's in this strange city, Vase Teloro, the city of bones. It's eerie, desolate.
Not exactly a warm welcome.
Nope. And Ricardo comes back with bad news. The Red Waste, it's vast, it's deadly. Daenerys, she's facing impossible odds, Yeah, it's hard to see how she gets out of this one.
Right, but then she meets these, well, they're interesting characters.
Peeta Pri, Salo, Ixwan, Daxos, Quaithe.
Right, they all make promises, give warnings.
Cryptic warnings.
Exactly. And Daenerys, she's not sure who to trust. She learned that lesson the hard way with Mirri Maz
Yeah.
But she's focused on one thing, getting back to Westeros, getting the Iron Throne, and she needs ships. She needs an army.
And then there's the House of the Undying.
Oh, yeah. Those visions. Intense.
Disturbing, even.
She sees Viserys dying, this tall lord with a banner of a fiery stallion, rubies spilling from a dead prince, a red sword, a blue-eyed king without a shadow, a cloth dragon.
And a stone beast breathing shadow fire. It's all very symbolic.
Yeah, and confusing. But then there's her silver mare by a stream, a corpse on a ship. It's like a puzzle trying to figure it all out.
And that phrase, Mother of Dragons, it keeps coming back.
Right, like it's her destiny or something.
Definitely foreshadowing.
And then finally, she gets news from Westeros. It's bad. Robert Baratheon is dead. The Lannisters are in control. Ned Stark's been arrested. Her brothers are running for their lives. And Viserys.
Yeah.
Dead. Khal Drogo killed him. It's a lot to process.
It is.
And you see Daenerys change. She's heartbroken, but she's also angry. She wants revenge.
She's not giving up.
Nope. This is just the beginning for her. Okay, let's head north of the Wall. Talk about change of scenery. Jon Snow's up there facing a whole other kind of danger.
Yeah, the wildling.
Right, and there's this feeling at the Wall, Like something bad is coming. Mormont's raven, it keeps saying gone.
Creepy.
Oh, yeah. And Mormont, he tells these stories about old wildling invasions, Raymond Redbeard, Bael the Bard, the Horned Lord, legendary stuff.
Yeah. And Jendel and Gorn. Yoraman with the Horn of Winter.
Right. It's like history is repeating itself. And Mormont, he's worried.
He knows the watch is weak.
Yeah. And then there's Mance Rayder. He's united the wildlings. They're stronger than ever. So Mormont decides to take a risk. He's going to go beyond the Wall, try to stop Mance himself. It's a bold move.
Desperate, maybe.
They don't have many men, but they head out. And the journey is brutal.
The Frost Fangs. to kill her.
They run into a group of wildlings led by this guy, Rattleshirt. He wears armor made of bones.
Yeah, the Lord of Bones. Creepy dude.
And Jon, he makes a decision, surrenders to the wildlings to protect his brothers.
Corin Halfhand, he's not impressed.
Nope. But he sees a chance, tells Jon to play along, infiltrate the wildlings.
Dangerous.
Oh, yeah. It's like, break your vows to the Watch or risk everything.
Tough choice.
They climb the Skirling Pass. It's freezing, dangerous. An eagle circles overhead like a bad omen. Corin comes up with this plan to create a distraction using Stone Snake.
And Jon, he's got to get information.
But they can't blow the horn no matter what. It's a suicide mission almost.
But it might be their only chance.
Okay, let's check in with Caitlin one last time. She's still on the move, looking for allies, trying to find out what happened to her kids.
She gets to the twins and finds out the Blackfish isn't there. Martin Rivers is in charge of the Outriders. It gives you a little insight into Robb's strategy, how he's deploying his forces.
Yeah, interesting. And then, there's good news. For once, Edmure Tully, her brother, he won a battle against Tywin Lannister at the Red Fork.
A much-needed victory.
Oh, yeah. Gives you a little hope. And then she goes to Renly's tourney at Bitterbridge. It's a spectacle.
Oh, yeah. All the pomp and circumstance.
Right. And she sees all these southern lords, Rowan, Ukart, Tarly, all of them. But she's thinking about the real war, the one up north.
The one with the Lannisters and the Wildlings.
Right. Renly's playing at war, and she knows the real thing is a lot uglier.
And a lot more dangerous.
Yeah. And then there's that scene in the Sept.
The visions and the flame.
Yeah. She sees Renly, Stannis, Robb, even Robert, Jaime, Jon, and Arya.
And her mother, Lady Manisa Tully.
Yeah. It's a powerful moment, You see how much she's lost, how much she's carrying.
That's heartbreaking.
Okay, so we've covered a lot, but there's all these little moments, these details that add to the story,
Oh, absolutely. Like Dolorous Ed with his dark humor.
Right, always a good one.
And the Hound.
His relationship with Sansa, it's complicated. He's cruel, but there's this, a twisted kind of protectiveness there.
Yeah, he's a hard one to figure out.
And Salladhor Saan, he just wants to get paid. And Davos, loyal as ever, but he's worried about Melisandre.
And Master Luwin, he defends Hodor, tells those Frey boys to back off. He's a good guy.
And he's worried about Bran and Rickon, especially after Winterfell falls. And he gets the news about the Northern Lords dying, the Iron Men taking over.
Yeah, it's bad. He suggests White Harbor, maybe the Umbers, as a place for the boys to hide.
He's trying to protect them?
Yeah. And then there's that little detail about the Yellow Cat dying in Winterfell.
Yeah. It's like, even the animals aren't safe. And Sir Donna's hollered, drunk all the time, but he says some interesting things to Sansa.
Yeah, about playing the fool.
And then you've got the descriptions of House Florent, the men of the Night's Watch. It's all background info, but it matters.
Context.
Yeah. Exactly. And Loras Tyrell, he's charming. He's nice to Sansa. A little bright spot for her.
And Stannis' fleet, at the mouth of the Blackwater Rush, something big is coming.
Oh, yeah. And Davos, he's praying. He knows what's at stake.
And Cersei, she's threatening Sansa.
Yeah, she's not letting go of that.